insects. Sheena laughed inwardly as she imagined how she looked, caught in the swarm of shoppers whose individual silences and sounds came together in a low buzz. Their sharp beetle elbows poked into her drab-colored winter bulk. She pushed through to the other side of the aisle and started shuffling against the flow towards the back, towards the row of chill displays. Yogurt. Sam had gone through the yogurt in one day, scraping the tub clean with a finger. Spilled grain and breakfast cereal cracked beneath her soles. She winced at the sound. A picnic table blocked the next aisle. She stepped onto its bench and looked from side to side, as if searching for a clear path. She bent her knees, pressing her weight down, mimicking the way her 9-year-old self had stepped hard off a bench. No, back then the springboard, and flew weightlessly over any obstacle. Though she could no longer remember even her last year of PE classes, Sheena could still recall a shred of that feeling, that satisfaction of tremendous effort rewarded with visible, if far from tremendous, results. She let go. Knees lax, she stepped off the bench. Creatures with hard shells chattered behind her. She twisted around. 4 or 5 teenagers stood snickering, distracted from the migration behind them. That wasn't much of a jump, one of them said, with a look at Sheena that she couldn't decipher anymore. As she walked away, Sheena imagined doubling back, her gaze fixed on these young faces and making a running, flying leap over the table, umbrella and all. But Sam was waiting for yogurt. Behind her, the teens' laughter and arguments and clamoring over the table faded into murmurs. In the micropods beneath the automatic door sensor, she heard the screams. They sounded as likely to be human as something else. Choosing to think one of the teens had injured themselves, Sheena hastened across the parking lot to the bus stop. You weren't there when they first showed up. You don't know what it was like. Stop being stubborn for once and look at them with fresh eyes. Sam lifted a kitten out of the plastic carrier. It swayed and kicked in Sam's 2 large hands, too close to Sheena's face. I guarantee they're harmless, see? Sheena's gaze strayed to the back of the kitten's head, where reddish gold fur ought to line the smooth curve to the tiny triangles of its shoulder bones. The kitten's skin creased around a dark opening. She turned her head away and felt Sam shifting. Was he upset again? Was she being stubborn? She avoided looking at him, but forced her eyes back onto the writhing animal, just the orange-colored softness between its ears. No use. There the fur was thinner than normal. Through the sad tufts, pink skin shone like an insect carapace. She fell back on her palms. Then she noticed squirming in her periphery. More kittens. More holes. Sam sulked until she agreed to go to the clinic. Don't let it affect your life. The doctor made eye contact only with Sam as he explained Sheena's fear. I could refer you to a psychiatrist, but it's still something you have to get used to. Try telling yourself they're not dangerous anymore. Sheena frowned. As she looked for the right words, tensing for a jump or argument, the doctor checked his watch and got up. His handshake was soft and moist, but she gripped back hard. He let go first. She didn't look at Sam on the way home. She would not tell them about her true fear. Cats, dogs, crows. She'd forced herself to live with the sight of them. But humans, people, rushed about everywhere she went, and some had deep, barely concealed openings from which came unsettling sounds. Sheena knew if she listened, if she opened herself up to those sounds, she'd hear in her own head next the rustling and chattering of insect parts.